Hello, everyone. Hi, Alison. How are you?
Good.
Welcome to Bianca. Hi, Carmel. I don't know if you can see us.
I can, thank you.
How are you?
Good. I just don't know how to turn my camera on, so
That's okay.
apologies.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
And Lucy's in. Bianca. Hi, Bianca. How are you? Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
No worries. We'll get started because we started touch base, so we had slight technical difficulties, but we are good to go.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone for coming, and we're also recording this session because I posted on our YouTube channel. So if you ever get stuck, I've got lots of our classes posted there, and if you get stuck, that's on my link tree. So this will be posted there for people who couldn't come tonight. So I just want to introduce us. So we are my Thermomix team, which is the Mighty Mixers. We've got Laura, who's going to be cooking with me tonight, and Renee, and you can see Renee there. So the main focus, and I'm Teresa, half of you know me anyway, so that's fine. So the main focus for tonight is Renee and I are always brainstorming like our cooking classes, and everyone's always jumping in with ideas. So we feel like at the moment, it's all about saving money. Things are hiking up in terms of price and all those kinds of things. And in tie with that is usually the basics and what what you can make in your Thermomix, which are the basics. So not only can you do them so easily, but you can save a lot of money in the process. So we know the Thermomix is an investment. We want to get the most out of the investment, but the main thing is that it can make it significantly cheaper, your bill each week, just by doing a few things in your Thermomix. So tonight we're going to be making things like butter, we're making almond milk and peanut butter as our bases. But from those cooks, we are actually going to make a recipe, a waste-free kind of recipe, or using whatever we've made. So the latest book that's coming out, and if you know anyone who wants a Thermomix, it comes with your Thermomix this month with the toolkit, is our waste-free book. So that is actually an exceptional book. It's got lots of information about how you can save not only money, but waste as well. So, and getting the most out of your fridge and all, food in the pantry and stuff like that. So yeah, great book as well. Let's get started. So we're going to have Renee. She's going to start with butter.
Yes.
Put in the chat if you've ever tried making butter in your Thermomix. Put it in the chat. Really interactive, guys. If you have any questions, if you want to see something a little bit closer, please do not hesitate to chat with us. Okay, it's a class, all right? So jump in.
Definitely.
Pin you, Renee, so we can. There you go.
Thank you. So butter. It can be really daunting to make because you actually need to listen. And I don't know if the sound will transfer over through the mic, but you need to listen, and you'll hear it will go from like a sloshing sort of liquid sound, which is our cream, into a thickened cream, and you'll be like, oh, that's the sound. But then you will actually hear from a thick sound, it will go like it's a weird, like almost a banging sound, and that is the solid and the liquid coming part. So that's my key for tonight with this recipe, is you've just got to listen and take your time, and you do have to stand with your machine, because if you miss it, you go too far and then you end up with a different product altogether. So I'm on my phone, which is a technical difficulty, so I apologize. I will turn my screen so you can see the Thermomix, and if you have any questions, obviously yell out. Teresa might be able to translate.
I'll help you. Yep.
Yeah,
Alison said that she's made it many times. So Alison's made her butter many times, which is great. And there's a really nice butter bell thing in the mix shop as well that I'm tempted to buy.
Definitely. So our first step, nice and easy, make sure you've got your butterfly whisk on hand, and we're just going to pop into our jug. Please remember, guys, when you are putting it into your jug, we want it to be sitting behind the taller or the high blade. Don't know if you can see that. We want it behind the high blade. So you got high, low, behind the high. All right, pop that in. Next one is our cream. Now, I had an older cream, but I'd taken some out of it. The key with cream purchasing is if it's got a yellow sticker on it and they're about to throw it out, that's when you're like, money saving, this is what I want. You pick up the butter then. You can freeze butter and then use it later once it's defrosted, but the closer the cream is to its use by date, the quicker it will turn into butter for you, and the better your cream, and that's that money saving there. So if I tear back my scales, we want 600 grams. I have taken a bit out of this one, so I'm just going to pour in, and I do have a new one, but obviously the use by date is much closer. This was,
and often that's where you, oh sorry Renee, I was going to say that's where you get it often cheaper.
Yes,
like the reduced, like they're trying to throw out the, you know, the later cream, and I've seen lots of consultants like whip it all up and grab them to make butter out of it, because A, it's super cheap because they're trying to get rid of it, and B, it makes the perfect butter. Alison saying there's also a great butter collection on Cookie Doo. I think we need to sign Alison up. Have to join the Mighty Mixers, Alison. You got all the hot tips. And
yes.
Lucy's asked, what cream do you use?
You're just using any, like just a thickened cream. I'm just using, I don't have any particular brand I use. Today I'm just using the Buller thickened cream, but I've used other brands in the past and really can't say I've noticed a huge difference between the production.
Alison, do you have a favourite?
I just make the plain old butter, but the butter collection is really nice. There's some like sweeter options. There's a nice chili one. There's a herb one. There's all sorts of different things you can do with your butter. So definitely if you're interested in butter production, this is a much cheaper alternative to buying it made. So it can be a little bit of a process. And on here, you're like, oh, it's only going to go for a minute. You've got to keep doing it because you're listening to the sound. Okay, so I'm just going to pop it on at speed for 1 minute. It's just going to whip.
I was just, while Renee's whipping that, I was just asking Alison if she had any favourite cream or, preference of cream or no brand, any brand you find works fine for you?
I tend to just use the Dairy Farmers Pure Thin Cream.
Yeah.
All the time, the 600 ml one, and that gives, I've got the Butterbell, and it gives you a full Butterbell plus a bit extra in a container just to put in, then use the buttermilk in something.
Yes.
I don't know, but
so that's
in the butter collection, there's a lovely cheese and Vegemite butter. The Vegemite, it's beautiful.
Oh, that would be good with scrolls. So you could actually put that in your, like, as you know, putting your scrolls with some cheese, and how good would that taste?
That's great.
Oh, so good.
All right, so this is actually whipped really quick. I'll just show you, but I have to do it again. I'm still just at thickened cream, but we're not far off. Okay, so that's not good. Yeah, but that's just really thick cream. So we're going to go again. Because it says using simmer basket. Yeah, we're not ready to squeegee. Not at all. Okay, so we're going to do it again.
So think about how much butter costs as well, and you know, how much is a tub of cream? A couple of dollars, if that. So especially if it's one that's close to out of date. So you can definitely save some money just by doing this. And it really is simple. It's hands-free. You can see Renee could be doing lots of other things while her butter's doing its thing.
Definitely. And like, it's about $5-6 for a 600 gram container of, you know, cream, when you can pick up cream when they're throwing it out for around $2 or $3. So you're halving your costs there. And to buy a container of butter is around that $5 mark again, especially if you're going to buy, you know, the good old, what's the Star, Western Star?
Yes, yes.
Devondale, like I picked up Devondale on sale, but it's still around that $5 price point. So if you pick up cream on sale, $3, you're laughing, because that's, you know, all the money saving that we want. Now I can still hear that it hasn't split. It's still just that thick ring. And if you get concerned, you're like, oh my God, it's only going to take me a minute, just make sure you're reading those little prompts at the bottom of the screen, because it does tell me that the beating will be prolonged by 2 minutes if necessary. I have to wait, the last bit, the clause, is until the solid and the liquid have separated. So you must, and you will notice it, it's literally like a real golden colour, and you'll see there's a liquid in the bottom. It's starting to make a different noise, and always look inside your jug. We've got the dance, the butter dance happening. Oh. All right, I might stop it there. We've got the dance. The dance is good, so I'll show you. And when I opened it, this time I actually got flicked by stuff, so that means that I have butter. Yeah, good side. You have butter, but you have your buttermilk, which is obviously gold. Another money-saving tip, you make butter, you get buttermilk. Buttermilk is so expensive, and it is actually it's the throw out from your butter production, and they make money off of it. Ooh,
pancakes, buttermilk pancakes.
Oh, or scones. Don't be silly. Go straight
yes, scones.
I'm not going to tip too much.
Oh, yay.
You can see we've got yellow now, and we have actual liquid in there. So that's what we want. What we now do, following our screen, we take our whisk out. Let's pop that there. And then using our simmer basket, okay, and I'm going to do this, move you back a bit, I'm going to do it over the top of the bowl. Because now we need to separate the two. So use your simmer basket. You're going to tip all your contents. Can we see all that beautiful buttermilk? Yep. We can see the golden butter. Now this bit, I'll just do it once for you, but you can do it twice. And it just, number one, you'll get a fresher butter because it can have a bit of a smell, and sometimes it's just that you haven't washed it properly, because you really need to now separate the waste product from the butter. So that's really important. We're literally now going to press. So I don't know if you can see that. I'll turn this way.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. See all that buttermilk coming out? But you have to get that off your butter, or else it can turn your butter sour.
Renee, all the hot tips.
Yes. Well, because I did make a batch, and I was like, oh, he's a bit pongy. And I think I only rinsed it once. And you look, it can hurt your hand, like as in, you know, it's a bit of hard work. You've really got to squeeze. Okay. Once you've done that, and I've got a good, it's actually amazing how much buttermilk, buttermilk comes off. We're going to separate, and then we're just going to go next. And this is where we now need to add in just chilled water. I've just got some water out of the fridge. I'm just going to chuck it on my lid because I don't want it sitting in my bowl. Pop this back in. Tear back. Just pop you over there so you can see my machine again. And this is almost like a cleaning process. So you can do this 2-3 times if you want, whatever you feel you're satisfied with. Next, and we're going to put our solids, not our beautiful milk product, just the solid. And you can see the milk like sits on the surface because it's so oily, but we're now going to pull this back out.
This is a really good recipe to see in a cooking class, because you would read the instructions and go, butter, I'm not going to make that. Sounds too complicated. That's probably what I would say. But when you actually see it happen, like Renee's showing us, it really isn't that hard, okay? Once you know the process, it's something you can absolutely do quite easily in your Thermomix.
Yeah, and I know the first time I saw this, I got really excited because I saw 1 minute and I was like, oh, this isn't going to take that long, but you've got to read that bottom bit, and you do have to go until you hear that dance and you see that dance, because that's when you have your solids. Don't go stopping if you've just got a ring of cream, because that's not going to do it for you. And then we're just washing. So now turn it back on. 4 seconds, speed 4. And then it says liquid and solid should be separate again. And you can make a call on if you want to add this liquid to your liquid. I always find that I'm sort of diluting it, so I'm not going to push it. It looks very watery. So I put this beautiful product aside. I've saved money there by making that myself.
Yeah, buttermilk's like $6 for a little carton from memory.
So really, if you pick this up on sale, you've just saved yourself almost $8. Let's put it, you know.
Half a Thermomix payment pretty much for the week.
That's it. So just a new bowl, because now we're just washing. So as you can see this time, it's very watery and not creamy. And as I said, I could wash this again, which I won't because I won't go through the process, but you literally do the same thing. Press, 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 get the liquid out.
Alison, do you do this weekly? Oh, how often do you find you're doing it?
No. I went through a stage of doing it really regularly. I don't know. I just go in and out of it for some reason. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I found a few times my butter went off in the butter bell, and you put a centimetre of water into the bowl bit and tip the bell upside down so it goes in. And when it was cold weather, I'd leave it on the bench. It was fine. When it was hot weather, I'd put it in the fridge. But I'm just wondering, I've done the method of straining that was just done then, but I've also done sitting the steaming basket in the bowl and tipping it up so that your butter stays in the bowl, and then your steaming basket acts as a strainer inside, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
But it may not be straining off enough of the buttermilk. That's just come to mind then, which is why sometimes, like, it's just got, I could smell it and think, oh God, that's off, and I've thrown it out.
Yeah, so maybe that's why. That's kind of.
I do always wash it twice though. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, that's still quite cloudy, so I would definitely do it again. But I might allow you guys to move on, and I'll wash it again, and then I'll just pop it into a sealable container, and I will store it in the fridge, only because we've got the heater on. It is cooler, so it will be fine on the bench, but we've got the heater on, so that fluctuation in temperature is not going to do the butter any favors.
Yeah.
And you've sort of got to have it within your, you know, it can last long, but I find that, you know, within those first 4 sort of days is when it's at its freshest, if it lasts past that, because generally I will do scones or something like that. That's why I make it. If I want to make pancakes, as Teresa said, or scones, that's when I'll make it, so then we can use our buttermilk. And then this doesn't last very long, especially with lashings of it on our favourite raisin bread. So that's butter in a nutshell. And then, sealable container, or the little butter domas Teresa said, and you're good to go.
Amazing.
$7 on a basic.
In the warmer weather with the butter bell, it has dropped out, like upside down. I pick it up and it's out of it and it's down in the water.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I've never used one.
I think being in the fridge is probably the best.
Yeah, definitely.
See, this is why I want to butter one of those. It's probably like the only thing I don't have from the mix shop. So I feel like I need to do that. Yeah, probably the only thing. All right. Thanks, Renee. That was awesome. I'm going to, next part, I'm doing almond milk. So almond milk, another thing that you can use in a lot of your cooking. You can make your almond meal and also almond milk. So there's lots of reasons to buy a big bag of cheap almonds, and there can be lots of things that you can make with it. So almond milk, you know, I think I get some on sale. I have for like $3.50. You should check out the ingredients in some of them. They're not nice. They're not great. Some have a lot of extra bits and pieces. So it's really nice to make it in the Thermomix because you know what you're getting. And of course, in terms of cost as well, I'm just going to pin my Thermi as well. Okay, so this is a recipe from Cookie Do, so it is going to guide me, which is how I like it. Now, the first step, which I did earlier, was adding in, it specifically asked for 660 grams of water and the almonds, so 220 grams. So it's not even a full bag. I just got this bag from Coles, so I just had a small bag for only half a bag. Now, that needed to soak for an hour, but I've definitely left it longer. You can absolutely do that. There's a lot of benefit to leaving your nuts soak for a while. Okay, so when you see how easy it is, it's ridiculous. It's like ridiculously easy. So it's asking for 4 pitted dates. So that's adding our sweetness to it. So I've got my dates in there. Half a teaspoon of natural vanilla. Alison, close your eyes because I'm not measuring. I know Alison is a measurer and I'm not.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. So I've just put in my vanilla essence and I'm actually adding in the almonds with the water that was soaking. Okay. So 4 ingredients: water, almonds, extract, and the date. That's it. Pressing next. I'm putting on my lid. This is going to blitz for 2 minutes at speed 9. So if I don't hear you, one of the other girls will talk, but I'm going to start that and that's going to go for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's just cut Teresa out. One thing I was just going to say with making the butter, and I won't continue on with the step right now, is that I've got actually like the liquid on my lid. Rinse that off because that will help with not re-dirtying or contaminating our butter that's in there. But while Teresa's doing this, who has made their own almond milk before? Pop it in the chat box or put your mic on if you've made almond milk or any of the different types of milks, because I know this is not the only one that you can make in your Thermomix. No, we've gone silent. I know I haven't made it before. I definitely have the muslin net ready to go, but I just have never done it. And as Teresa was saying, almond milk, not yet. Almond milk is filled with all sorts of, I know lots of healthy eating programs that I've followed always says use almond milk. No, but yes. And I often think, why do they tell us to have almond milk when it's really not full of the greatest things unless you're making it yourself? So definitely, if you haven't or you're an almond milk lover, I definitely am, and I buy all those silly products, but I often look at them and compare them and I'm like, why do I do it to myself? This is obviously so much healthier for you and you know what's going into it. And the percentage of almonds gets me every time. It breaks my heart. How are you, Teresa? Is that still blending away?
It's got 20 seconds left. Really loud. It is working a storm here for me. But the next step is I'm going to be using this nut knife. So you can get one of these from the mix shop as well. They're very handy. You can use them for a lot of things, but a great way to separate the pulp from the milk. So that's done. Jeremy's done 2 minutes of work. And have a look at that. I'm just going to put it in that way. So check out how creamy that almond milk is. Can you see that? What else can you use? Oh, is that in terms of the straining, Lucy? Yeah, so you can use a muslin cloth. Okay, so I guess like a chuck. Dare we say like a chuck, possibly? But these are really effective. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put it over my bowl and try and do this gracefully. Story of my life, try and do things gracefully. All right, so I'm going to put in the milk and I'm going to squeeze it out. So like Carmel, look how easy, like it's pretty easy. You know what I mean? Oh, Alison's used a new chuck. Yep, great. I'm going to be calling Alison tomorrow, telling her to join my team. I'm like, come on, Alison, you can do it. So here we go. There's the milk in there, and I'm going to squeeze it, and the milk's going to come out. Like a great one to get the kids to do, like you know, or you do this once or twice a week and you're done. Okay. So I'm going to keep squeezing that. And what we might do is we're going to jump to Laura. I'm keeping the pulp from here because the pulp that I have just separated from the milk, I'm going to use it for some bliss balls in the next part. All right. So we're talking about no wastage. Now, I had full intention of making something with a pulp, but what I did was I went to Cookie Doo, I went to Filter, and you know where you get to choose what ingredients are in? I actually typed in almond pulp and a few things came up, okay? Including some really nice dipping biscuits, like dip with, you know, to dip with dip, basically. That came up on Cookie Doo. Always check Cookie Doo. You will always find something to cook with something else, right? So I'll keep squeezing and I'm going to pass to Laura, who's going to make some peanut butter. I'm going to replace the pin. There you go, Laura.
Yeah. So we're making peanut butter, which I then am going to use for a peanut butter and banana ice cream. So very easy. Starting with some roasted salted peanuts.
This is very therapeutic, squeezing out this milk, can I say?
Some almond is in our.
Who has done their own peanut butter before or almond butter? I know I'm a fan of the almond butter. Or have you made something
like
else?
if you go to a home like Terra Madra or something in Northgate, any Melbourne people, that's as cheap as you get that homemade butter. It's expensive. So
Yeah.
it's a great way to do it without any other bits and pieces in your peanut butter.
Especially the almond butter. It's literally roasted almonds. If you haven't done it, do it.
Definitely, yeah.
So I milled my nuts and now I'm just adding some peanut oil.
And I'm smelling my butter. Don't judge me, but it smells clean. You can smell. If it's got a funny smell, wash it again. But that's good. Butter.
How you going, Laura?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Oh, it's blocked out the sound. I was like, is she blitzing it yet? I was focusing on my almond, but she is. Jeez, got a lot of milk out of this.
You'll have to measure, Teresa, how much milk you get out of.
Yeah, I'll get a measuring
Did you
cup.
say?
Pardon?
What was your bag of nuts that you started with?
Well, I only used 220 grams of nuts and 660 grams of water. Alison, never, but I'd like to. Yes, especially almond butter. Oh, peanut, yeah. Homemade peanut butter.
So
Yeah.
this is done now. It says that if you want a smoother consistency, you can further like mix it, but I'm happy with a bit of crunch in there. And so
Oh, yum. That looks good.
Delish.
yeah, so it's pretty creamy. And like you were saying, Teresa, before about buying it in a jar, like I was just looking at the ingredients in our store for peanut butter, and it's got sugar, stabilizer, and salt, which is none of the ingredients that we added. So for us, it's just peanut oil and peanut butter. So I think this jar might be a bit too big, but I'll give it a go anyway.
Big contrast, isn't it? The ingredient lists.
Studying my job.
Oh, there's a huge contrast when like you start, if you start looking at not only the prices, like prices and saving money aside, but just the ingredients and stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually mind blowing, especially like the almond milk. There is you have to be really careful, especially if you're mindful about, you know, sugars and all those kinds of things. There's a lot of hidden stuff in it.
Preservatives.
Yeah. Renee, I just got like probably nearly a litre, I would say. Nearly.
Wow.
But I didn't.
Price comparisons.
I rushed. Like there's still bits in there that I probably could have, and I could have probably pressed it out a little bit, but smells good.
I think that's a good count for a litre.
Yeah, I would say 750. Yeah, I'd go that 750.
Yeah. And just in terms of buttermilk from the butter, I know there's a measure on here. I can't see it. Oh, there we go. We're just over 300 mils.
Well, there you
Ready
go.
for cooking tomorrow.
That's $6 at Woolworths.
Yeah.
It looks good, Laura.
Yeah.
Mm.
There you go.
Yum. You
I
can even double batch that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
That was just a
just
small.
someone flashed up a question about the lifespan of the buttermilk. I've never left it in my fridge for longer than a week, and it's lasted a week, but you can freeze buttermilk. So this is a great sort of little container. You can pop it in the freezer, defrost it, it's good to go. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you don't use it after 3 days, freeze it, and you've got, you know, probably 3 months in it. Yeah. Lucy, there you go.
Looks good. Looks good. Thank you, Laura. I'm going to start next bit, and Laura's going to make something with her peanut butter next.
Yep.
But how easy. That was just so easy. We're
Teresa,
making...
just before you start, have you repinned yourself?
I just repinned myself. Yep. Thank
Beautiful.
you. I'm making what's called raw chocolate brownies. Now I'm going to get my other jug. See, ladies and gentlemen, you all need another jug in your life. I'm going to grab another jug. Hang on. Sorry. Save me cleaning that one. So,
Yeah, it's done the swap over as well.
Yeah, I was doing the creamy coconut chicken tonight for dinner, and then I needed almond milk, and I didn't have any, and I wish I had a second jar just to make a quick almond milk.
yeah, Alice, yeah, 100%. That's why if you know anyone who has a Thermomix, you've got 2 days, well, a day and 1 day basically, to get that 2 jugs, second jug for potentially $110. So get in contact with one of us. We can run a demo as quick as, you know, we'll be able to whip something up for you to get your hands on another jug. So if you're interested, yell out. So that's easy. I'm making raw chocolate brownies. I'm using the almond pulp. So if you have a look at it, and you can also freeze this as well. Can you see that? That's just liquid gold. Well, not liquid gold, it's gold though. And we're going to use it for these. So 190 grams of almond pulp. I'm tearing it back. So nothing is wasted. That's 180. I'm going to throw it all in. Sorry.
No waste. That's what we want.
No waste. So just what am I going to do with like that little bit of, you know? Pressing next, 240 grams of pitted dates. All about dates today. There you go. Pressing next. And 40 grams of cocoa powder. unsweetened. I'm going to add 20 because I feel like that would be sufficient because the kids are going to eat this. And a teaspoon of some salt. Teresa measuring again. And some vanilla extract. So some really basic ingredients, okay? Half teaspoon. So I guess they're not really, like my bigger guy, he can take it to school, but Kinder can't because it'll have nuts in it. So just be mindful of that. So lid on, pressing next. We're going speed 10 for 15 seconds.
And just in case anyone missed it in the chat, I think Alison suggested a Chuck's cloth. Definitely, if you don't have one of those nut bags, Chuck's cloth, you know, will do it perfectly as well. Thanks for that contribution.
Right.
And there we go. That's it.
I sort of crisscross them because they're a bit long and narrow.
Yes.
So I put one way and one the other way.
Oh, good suggestion. So double them up. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good idea with the trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's our mixture. So I'm going to roll those while everyone is busy cooking. But as you can see, from what couple of grams, what have we done? Probably 500 grams of almonds. We've got nearly a litre of almond milk. We're going to have little brownie balls for the kids to put in their lunch boxes and all good to go. But there's lots of recipes that you can do with almond pulp. So don't worry about that.
What else was beside the almond pulp and the cocoa?
Almond pulp, cocoa, salt, vanilla extract, and the pitted dates.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty simple stuff that I have in my pantry. I didn't even have to go to the shop for this today, so that was very handy. So using what we had and getting two things out of it, so that was great. Laura, do you want to do your ice cream next? I'm going to jump back to Laura, and I'm going to roll these.
Okay, so I didn't clean my bowl because I'm going to need the peanut butter again. So 250 grams of frozen bananas.
Oh my God, this is yum. Sorry, I just tasted it.
Sorry, I don't have enough. Just one sec.
Well, these are yum.
I was going to say, will the mixture make it until tomorrow, Teresa?
Yeah, no, it has to. I have to be good, but these are yum. Didn't expect it.
Have we lost Laura's mic?
No, she's on. It's silent because of she's blitzing the banana.
No, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, now I'm going to add 100 grams of my peanut butter.
I love this ice cream.
Yeah, I've never done it before.
Yeah, it's really good, and the kids love it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, can we have ice cream? You're like, yeah, frozen banana.
Yeah, I know.
No worries.
Guilt-free.
Yeah.
And homemade peanut butter, like living the life. Seriously.
It's such a spring treat.
And 100 grams of coconut milk.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, it's good.
And that's it.
I've got a heap of frozen bananas. You know what I'll be doing tomorrow now?
And that's the thing, like the frozen bananas are often like your offcuts from the week, you know, the brownie ones, and you put them in the freezer, no waste once again, and you're whipping up ice cream. So, you know, you've paid $2,000 for a Thermomix, but what you can do with it is truly endless. And like we've shown you so many things tonight already that you can easily do. And we've really used basic and hardly any ingredients, to be honest, haven't we?
Yeah. And everything, yeah, that can be stored for long periods of time, or you can save and freeze and prolong its lifespan. which I think is, yeah, it's all about those little penny pinching things that you can do to get the most out of your weekly shops and weekly pay.
And just going to scrape down the bowl for little bits of banana. Another 20 seconds.
Can I say the almond pulp makes a really nice consistency with balls? You know how sometimes when you roll protein balls and stuff like that, it becomes like they fall apart at times. Depends what you've made them with, but these are a really good consistency. Like they just stick together so well.
Yeah, sometimes they can be a bit dry, but I guess because it's slightly moist, the almond pulp, it would have a nice binding effect.
Okay, so this is a bit creamy, so I'm just going to pop it in the freezer for a little bit. It doesn't take that long, even like 15 minutes. But I purchased one of the ice cream containers from the milk shop. And so I'm just going to pop it in there. Like it's at the moment it's like a mousse, like your soft serve. But it's nice if it's a little bit more frozen. And that's it.
Beautiful. And those yogurt tubs are also fantastic for preserving your yogurt in. So it says ice cream yogurt, but they're great for making a batch of yogurt and then storing it in the fridge.
Exactly.
So another little helpful tip if you haven't used them before.
That ice cream tub holds exactly the amount that you make in your Thermomix. So when you do a batch of yogurt, it will fit in one of those tubs easily. Yep. So I just put it in the fridge and it stores it for a while.
Yeah. So that's me.
Thank you, Laura. I'll show you my little.
Yum.
Good.
Definitely inspired me. I've got a few bags of bananas frozen, and that's what I'll be making tomorrow.
Yum.
It's delicious.
Delish.
Mm-hmm.
It looks delicious.
I'm salivating.
I know. I'm like, I just want that ice cream now. And it's got nothing nasty in it at all.
That's it. Yeah,
it's a quick dessert.
Delicious, yes.
There's a little ball.
How many balls did it roughly make, Teresa?
19.
Wow.
All not equally made. Like, you know, in
Teresa style.
Me. Close enough was good enough, but
they're truffles.
Yeah, I could. If you like truffles, I could probably make them a bit smaller. But yeah, that almond pulp, I'm really impressed with it. So definitely. So
do you normally drink almond milk? Any of you?
Oh yeah, I only drink almond milk.
And so, how do you like this one, this homemade one, compared to the ones?
Oh, this one tastes great.
Okay.
Yeah, because you've got the pitted dates in it, gives it a little bit of a sweetness, and this is much thicker than and creamier than the ones from the shop. They're so diluted. There's like 2% almond in them. Like they're very diluted. So I feel like this is like creamier for me. Like I have almond milk in a smoothie every morning. Okay. It's creamier. I love it.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah. And it's you know, you'd have to make it like, you know, twice a week probably. Depends how much you use. But for me, that's probably 3 mornings of a smoothie. So 2 batches.
I wonder if you do dilute it in terms of like obviously store-bought product, if you diluted it just to get like a week's worth, do you know what I mean? Make 2 batches, put a little bit of extra water if it's so creamy, and might just give you a little bit more lifespan out of it. Yeah,
you could. Yeah, definitely. But that's one, like I say to like my customers, like Carmel and Lucy will say, you know, can vouch for it. It's like, that's the cookie dough recipe is one version of it. Like definitely check the internet as well, check recipe community. There are so many people out there that do so many different variations of recipes that you can do in your Thermomix. So definitely, you know, throw a Google search out there And something like almond milk, you will definitely come across. There's a lot of people, you know, well-known people that are creating recipes for Thermomixes and stuff like that. So it's out there. Definitely check it out. But and see which one you like, you know, and check it out. We're going to jump to Renee. What's the time? Oh, we've done quite well. So Renee is going to finish off tonight with, we're going to make pancakes because we were trying to show you how you can make something and then use something else to, you know, make something else from it. But Renee's going to do chicken stock because it is basic. I'm sure Alison has made it many times, but I know there's a few new owners on here as well. Do you like that chicken stock, Alison?
Do you know what? I've never made it.
Alison.
Perfect. This is perfect.
I just make the vegetable stock paste and use that for everything, but I would like to do it. So yes.
I swear by the chicken stock. I've told Renee, I'm like, you need to do the chicken stock. I swear by it because you know, just to make a broth or, you know, throw some chicken in it or, you know, the noodles for the kids with chicken broth, you know, it's really handy over winter. So we decided that that's what we would cook tonight. It's great to have in the fridge, really basic ingredients. It does have a 25-minute cook. Oh, sorry, Renee will explain this. It does have a 25-minute cook on this, but she's going to show you the start of it. So then, you know what to do, but definitely an absolute must.
Is it the paste?
Fridge. Yeah, we're doing a chicken stock paste. Yeah. But there is other variations. You can make a stock powder. There's that recipe on Cookie Doo. And there's lots of recipes for like a chicken broth. Even in this new book, there's one. Where is it? It's turmeric and ginger infused chicken broth. And I thought that would be beautiful for like current scenarios, all the bugs floating around everywhere, but how beautiful that you can make that and pop that in and use it as you will. So lots of recipes out there, but Renee's going to show you our last one for the night. Go for it, Renee.
And that one, just as you were saying, is a great immunity booster. So it's important to be adding all of those different spices into our food. I'm a little bit like Alison. I swear by the vegetable stock, and that's what I've lived and breathed for the last year. But I thought Teresa raised on about this. It's winter. I think I need to give it a go. And I just wanted a bit more bite to some of our soups and things like that. So chicken stock taste, here it goes. Oh, Alison, Lucy's going to drop something else about turmeric. So we'll watch that chat for a second. Asian dishes, definitely. Yeah, and it's great for your gut. It's great for your immune system. So many benefits to turmeric. It does stain your lid, but pop your lid out in the sun and outside. It will help to bleach it. Yeah.
So tomorrow, Lucy, I think it's a sunny day tomorrow. Literally leave it outside and the sun gets rid of all the stains. It's a go-to.
Yeah, sometimes if it's a bit overcast, it's not as effective, so just be mindful. You want direct sun, so it might take a few days. The first time I did it, I had the best sunny day. Then I did it another time and it was a bit overcast. It didn't work as effectively, but then again I did it on another really sunny day and it worked. So just be mindful of that. It might take a few goes depending on the weather forecast. So the hardest part about this recipe, I'm going to say, is you need like part frozen chicken. So this was raw and then I froze it just for the last 40 minutes before the class, and it's still a little bit frozen because I did pull it out.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I never do it frozen.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I know. I'm not very good at it.
I didn't do it either.
I do my own. Laura doesn't do it either.
No.
So
I can get a bit nerdy and have to follow the rule book.
Why do you think it needs to be frozen?
I think because it actually minces better.
Yes.
So I think that's why, because it's not as soft. But I figure it's going to be blitzed up anyway, so the texture doesn't make a difference. However, let's see if Renee's turns out better, and then I'll freeze it from now on. But my tip is chicken thighs are very cheap. You can get them quite cheap. I get 300 grams, or I get a big batch and batch it into 300 gram things in the freezer. So I grab one out and I know that's good to go for my chicken stock. So once again, money saving, you know, you're not excessively buying stuff. 300 grams, super cheap, and you've got your chicken stock paste instead of buying those things from the supermarket, which I haven't done since I've owned a Thermomix.
Yeah. In saying that, I did the same as you, Teresa. I bought it was roughly just over 600 gram pack. It's the smallest that Coles had, but just make sure you cut it like your bananas if you're going to store things in the freezer. And I'm using frozen celery tonight, which is another money saver. I will never use a whole bunch of celery, but I chop it all up, and I'll show you. So it might be a bit defrosted now. I chop it up into the size that is good for the Thermomix, and then I freeze it. So lemongrass, things like that, you don't ever use the whole lot of it when you generally buy it. Leek, which I didn't have frozen today, but I normally do. Cut them up into the appropriate size for the Thermomix and then freeze them, and you're good to go. So back to the recipe. The first thing that it requires is 300 grams, as Teresa said, of the chicken thighs. I've cut them just into like sort of strips. And it's slightly over because I'm not going to take out the 30 grams that was left over. I've just kept it in there and added it in. Too many flicks. All right, so might cut me out. We're going speed 7, 5 seconds. Obviously, just be mindful positioning of your Thermomix. Mine is sitting on the edge of the bench, hence why I grabbed it. With your mincing and turning your ice cream, like anything frozen, because your machine will do a bit of a dance. The same with the butter, and we would hate for anything to slip off your bench.
Alison's asked it to trim the thighs. To be honest, I don't. I just put it in as is. I figure more flavour. I don't know.
Chucked it all in. It's even got a bit of parsley in there. Don't know if you can see that very well. I don't have much light. I have parsley in there because that's what I was cutting before I cut the chicken. So it's all going to add to flavour. Now, it says 300 grams of mixed white root and vegetables, and it gives you a few examples. The celery root is one of the options. I went into the grocer for $7 a piece. That's not my money saving. That's just blown my whole money saving out of the water. So I went for the cheaper alternative, my frozen celery that I had, and I had to buy a new leek because I had run out of frozen. I always find that I only need about half or a third of a leek, so I always cut it up and I pop it in the freezer. I'm going to chuck in some garlic as well. I only had 2 cloves for some unknown reason. We don't have garlic at the moment, not like us. And the next one is I literally just did 1 onion, and I think I was like just over like maybe 350 in the vegetables, but I wasn't going to take anything out. So I'll pop these in. Leek, onion, garlic, and celery is what I'm using tonight.
So when you're clearing out your fridge at the end of the week, you know, all the dead bits or the bits that are coming to the end, like you would with the veggie stock, freeze them.
Don't throw
them out. That's sufficient for something like this.
Herbs is another one. Don't throw out your herbs. I was going through where I was throwing out quite a bit. I now just chop it and I pop it into a bag with a label on it. And I was putting them all into one bag because I was doing the vegetable stock, but I now do them separately so I can use them for any recipe I want. So that's a great one. So you always have technically fresh herbs on hand. It now asks for 4 sprigs of mixed herbs. I did have time, but I clearly used it in the freezer, so I don't have that anymore. So tonight we are just using some parsley and some rosemary. So that's all fresh in there. I totally have more than 4 sprigs, but you know, flavour. Popping that in. And I know I'm not going to go over my max with this recipe, so I'm safe to do that as well. Just be mindful of those little things and modifying your recipes. And then we're going to speed 5, 10 seconds. our vegetables, our chicken, and our herbs in there. Ooh. Again, I don't know if I need to see in the light. Have almost like a bit of a dip type consistency going on there. That looks
Yeah, it looks like one, but you wouldn't want to eat that. No.
Oh, just scrape down our sides. Not that there's much up there at all, but waste nothing is our motto. Next, we're now going to pop in our rock salt. Again, this is a great one to pick up on sale because, you know, by the time you make your stock 4 or so times a year, you will use it. Or if I can open it. These things, they make them adult proof, I'm sure of it. Might have to cut the bag. Yep, that's the way. Okay, 150 grams. I know I freaked it the first time with the salt, but you've got to remember it is a preserve and it's obviously going to add a whole heap of flavour. I wasn't going to do the white wine because I have little kids and I was just like, I'll just do stock, but Teresa said it's so delicious. So here goes a bit of Sauvignon Blanc, 120. There we go. Bit of Sav in there. We're going to go a dried bay leaf. I have lots of people in my street that have bay leaves and I just pinch them off the tree, dry them up, and we're good to go. I'm just going to do.
That's handy. That's waste free.
Yeah, definitely. My next door neighbour has a tree and I'm like, I'm just going to pick these. He's like, you go for it. It's a decoration plant for him, but I use it. Only 1 clove. Goodness, that's like.
I don't actually put all the herbs in. I just put parsley.
We're doing it. I'm thinking it's going to keep all the vampires away. So.
Yeah, no, you do. But if you don't have everything, don't stress. I promise it works out just as well.
Yeah, kids at daycare. Oh my God, I need all the little things. And I don't have coriander seeds, but I do have the ground coriander. So I'm just going to put in about, I'm going to say a teaspoon. Or a bit more. And I think that's it. There we go. Oh, reserved chicken mince. See? Don't even read things properly. So you're supposed to take your chicken mince out, put it back in. It's all mixed fine and chopped fine. So we're good to go. Place simmer basket on top. I will go get a simmer basket and then speed to for 25 minutes and we're good to go. Give me a second. I'll just get my simmer basket. Hope you can hear me. So that will cook away now for the 25 minutes. Once it's cooked, I will then just transfer into my stock stars that I have already popped in the oven and got all ready. And then that's it. It's good to go. Use it tablespoon by tablespoon as you need it. And when you have fresh, nutritious, holistic
chicken stock. Yeah.
Baffles me. I've never done it before and I've just done it and I'm like, why did it take me so long?
Why? That's often what.
Yeah.
If
you're a chicken lover, the vegetable one, I can't say it was any more difficult than making the vegetable one. So definitely give it a go.
Definitely give it a go.
Keep an eye on my feed and I will post a product if you want to see the end product. I'm
going to convert everyone to chicken stock. I'll have to get Thermomix on board. They ditch the veggie stock for the initial delivery. Like, let's all just do chicken stock. That is it for tonight. So I hope that we were able to help you all get some tricks and tips for making some basics in your kitchen with your Thermomix and also creating other things using that, saving money and waste free. Hope that helped. Hope it gave you some ideas. Let us know what you might give a go at, have a go with. And otherwise, if you have any questions, ask your consultant, or good to ask one of us, and we're more than happy to help. But thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. And we did well, 1 hour, all that in 1 hour.
And just remember, if you're making anything from our classes, tag your consultant in it, because we'd love to share it with the rest of our Thermi community. It's just another great way to show, obviously, the success of these classes and how we're passing on that knowledge and, sharing what we do.
Thank you. Carmel's going to try the almond milk. Go, Carmel.
I'm going to try it too.
Yeah, you're going to try it too. I'm doing the ice cream.
I'm doing ice cream tomorrow. The kids are going to love me.
Ice cream is the best.
Peanut butter and ice cream. Like, is there a better combination?
Nah.
No.
Yes,
For winter.
Well done, Carmel. Can't wait to see the creations.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Okay.
Alison. Thank you, Carmel. Thank you, Lucy.
Thanks, ladies.
Take care.
Everyone. Thanks, Pam, for joining.
Bye.
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 I'm going to stop recording.